Another beautiful day just off Lake Michigan. We're in Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and you move a little further inland, you find Miller Park, and the Brewers have been playing great baseball this year. They have taken the first three against the Rockies. In this set, they have the best record in Major League Baseball, 19 games north of 500. And good afternoon, everybody. Welcome upstairs. Glad, as always, that you're along with my partner, Jeff Houston. I'm Drew Goodman. The pitching matchup today, Jorge De La Rosa, who's been a stopper for the Rockies through the years, will be asked to stop this slide for Colorado today. And he'll be going against Milwaukee's longtime ace, Yovani Gallardo.
Yeah, a couple number ones. And this is really where you need De La Rosa to step up. He needs to be the stopper on this road trip to salvage the one game out of this four-game series going up against Gallardo, who the Rockies have seen in his history and a couple opening day starts for Gallardo. But for Jorge De La Rosa, you think back to May, he was real spectacular. 4-0 with a 193 ERA, a 117 whip, including the March and April starts. But then things turned a little south in the month of June. 1-3 with a 7.36 ERA. And really it's the whip that caused him to throw up those inflated numbers, because you're allowing a lot more guys on base. You have 14 walks and only 15 strikeouts, and a lot of frustration to go along with that. But going up against Gallardo, the Rockies have had some success against him in the past. But he is a guy now in the last four games that is pitching like an ace. Think about him. He's got a low ERA at 1. He's only given up 3 earned runs in 27 innings. So for Gallardo, he's turned things around because his off-speed pitches have been better. He'll locate his fastball, but he's incorporating more of a curveball, more of a slider now. So it's going to be another tough matchup pitching-wise. But for Jorge, go out there, compete, control the strike zone.
Yeah, clearly with the Rockies stumbling right now, he's the right guy to take the baseball. De La Rosa and Gallardo. The other note about Gallardo is he can really swing the bat, so you have to be careful when he comes up. When we return, we'll get an update on Nolan Arenado. I think you'll like what you're about to hear. That when we return to Miller Park in Milwaukee.
On Thursday, Nolan Arenado was with the ball club getting ready to go out on a rehab assignment. Well, he left the team on Saturday, flew to Denver, and played for the Colorado Springs Sky Sox last night. In fact, Arenado had a couple of hits last night. He had a couple of chances in the field. He had this double down the line. That knocked in a run. He knocked in a run a little bit later on in the game as well. And the question for Walt Weiss today is, could he be activated before the team gets home to play the Dodgers on July 3rd?
That one's probably over my head with the medical staff. But if he gets 2 hits and 2 RBIs every night on his rehab assignment, I'll push for it. Nolan brings a lot of passion and energy and youthful exuberance to our club, and probably the best third baseman I've ever seen. So that all those things mean a lot to our club, and it'll be good to have him back.
And you can catch Nolan Arenado with the Sky Sox coming up this week before he gets back with the big team. When we get back, Rockies and the Brewers. It's Game 4 of the series next.
Colorado Rockies baseball on Root Sports is brought to you by your neighborhood Toyota stores. Toyota, let's go places. By Inova Cancer Care, taking a novel approach to cancer care. Learn more about prostate cancer treatment at InovaCC.com. By CenturyLink, your link to what's next. By Frost Brewed Coors Light, the world's most refreshing beer. And by Southwest Airlines, find our fares online only at Southwest.com. Roof is open. Lovely Sunday afternoon in Milwaukee. The weather's been great here the last few days. The Rockies trying to get one game against Milwaukee this year. The Brewers have won all 6 of the previous encounters against Colorado this year. Yesterday it was 7-4. Tough one on Friday, 3-2. Also 7-4 on Thursday. As we look at the Southwest batting order for Walt Weiss, Charlie Blackmon up top. Barnes in there in the 2-hole. Morneau, Tulowitzki, Dickerson, Ryan Wheeler getting another start. First pitch of the ball game, high and away from Giovanni Gallardo, ball 1. Gallardo has never defeated the Colorado Rockies. 0-4 with a 5.77 ERA, to pick up on what Jeff was talking about a moment ago. His second pitch is in there for a strike.
Well, even in the 8 games that he started, actually 9 total games, his ERA is higher when he started. Decent relief appearance early in his career. But Gallardo's not the hard thrower that he used to be. He was a guy that would throw 95, 96 miles an hour, but it would take him 100 pitches to get through 5 innings. He's figured out I can dial it back. I can still reach 93, but I'm a 90 to 92 guy now. But I'm locating my pitches, and I try to get those easy outs, early ground balls, stay in the game longer.
2-2. Well, I'm sure Gallardo, along with Jorge De La Rosa, extremely disappointed as they take the mound today, because Mexico in the World Cup had a 1-0 lead late against the Netherlands and gave up 2 goals and ended up losing and thus being eliminated from the World Cup down in Brazil 2-1. Take a look at some more numbers on Gallardo, brought to you by Inova Cancer Care, a novel approach to cancer care. Visit InovaCC.com.
Well, I talked about his numbers in our open, how he's been better the last 4 starts, 3-1 during that time. He's 5th all-time in wins for the Brewers, tied with Ben Sheets with 86. Number 1 on that list is Jim Slayton with 117 wins.
Brandon Barnes takes a strike. C.B. Buckner, veteran umpire, is behind home plate. Trip Gibson's at first. Dale Scott is at second base. And Dan Iasanya is at third. Slowly hit to third. Ramirez with the leather will make the play. 2 outs. Brewers defensively are aligned in the following manner. It's brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com today to learn more. Well, they had a couple guys go down yesterday. Gene Segura with leg cramp, so he's sitting this one out. And Carlos Gomez is okay from a concussion standpoint. Stiff neck. They have tomorrow off, so they're going to have a couple of days off. So Elian Herrera will play in center field. And they just called up Jeff Bianchi today. He's been up before with the Brewers. So the 27-year-old is starting at shortstop. 2 outs, nobody on for Morneau.
Well, and they talked about going back to 5 guys on the bench, and this was the collision yesterday between Ryan Braun and Carlos Gomez, where Braun hits Gomez in the jaw.
And remember, on Friday, Gomez going into second was inadvertently kneed in the head. So they had to do literally a concussion test on him Friday and again one yesterday. Unfortunately, he was clean both days.
Yeah, and those are performed by outside sources. So it's not like where you say, well, he's okay, our doctors. No, there's a protocol put in place now by Major League Baseball that Ron Renicky and the training staff have to follow.
And there's Ron. 3-1 on Morneau. He had yesterday off. That's a strike.
Well, the ability for a pitcher to throw an off-speed pitch, whether it's a slider or a curveball changeup, when it's 3-1, 2-0s, those are the guys that stick around for a long time, and Gallardo did that to Morneau.
Outside. You know that Gallardo wants to be careful with Morneau. He's 6 for 10 against him lifetime. So he draws a walk, and that'll allow Tulowitzki to hit. Troy's 9 for 21, a .429 average against Gallardo. A reminder, if you want tacos when the Rockies score 7 or more, go to participating Colorado Taco Bell locations the next day between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. Live Moss at Taco Bell. And he goes breaking ball, and it's 0-1.
That's a pitch he started to put back into his repertoire the last month, is the curveball. He'd shelved it. He put it on the shelf, said, I don't have feel for it. I can't throw it now. But when the ERA jumped up, he said, I got to figure it out. And that's what he's going to now with that slider.
Off the plate, 1 ball, 1 strike. Gallardo born in Mexico, but went to high school in Fort Worth. And that's where he and his wife and family live now in the offseason, in Fort Worth.
Trimble Tech High School, Fort Worth, about 14 miles from Arlington.
That's a base hit to right. Morneau is going to stop at second base as Braun fires it back in. So 2 on with 2 outs for Dickerson.
This is what Troy's been doing a lot of lately because of how they've been pitching him. Just taking the ball to right field. Don't try to overpower it. Just go with it. And he did on that swing.
Well, that's how you end up hitting around
you have
350.
To. They're not going to come inside because of your power. If they do, it's a show pitch in. When they make the mistake, that's when you hit the home runs. But if they're going to pitch you away with something soft, you're going to have to hit it that way. Otherwise, it's a 6-4 rollover ground out, inning over.
Dickerson slashes at the first pitch and fouls it off. First time Dickerson has ever faced Gallardo. Great numbers with runners in scoring position for Dickerson. He was held hitless yesterday, which doesn't happen very frequently.
It'd just be nice to score a first inning run to get ahead. They haven't done that in this series, and they've been playing uphill in all 3 of the first 3 games.
Cardinals lost yesterday, so Milwaukee picked up another game in the standings. They lead the Central by 6.5. The Rockies are in 3rd place in the West, 11 back. Oh, 2. And here is the Central. The Brewers again with the best record in baseball, 51-32. The Reds are 4 north of 500. Clint Hurdle's Pirates above 500 as well. Competitive division.
The only division with 4 teams above 500.
One, 2. And this ball's well hit down the left field line. Stay fair, and it is a fair ball. That could play 2. It will. Tulowitzki around 3rd. He'll score easily. 2 out, 2-run double. Corey Dickerson. And that is the start the Rockies were looking for. Lined it just fair down the left field line. Not only with 2 outs, Huey, but behind in the count.
We're going with the pitch like Troy did on his at bat, where he took it to right. This time Corey Dickerson takes it to left field. Landed about 1.5 feet inside the foul line. Down the line, you're afraid that it might slice off the bat of the lefty, but it didn't. And then it rattles around in the corner. Chris Davis had to go get it. That allowed Stu Cole to wave Troy all the way from first. Now 167 doubles for the Rockies. That's the National League leader.
And Willeen Rosario at the plate. Milwaukee's next in the double category at 160. And that's rifled to left. Dickerson around 3rd. Cole will send him. Davis's throw. Wow, that went to short. That was terrible.
Thank you.
Where was that? Davis, either the ball slipped out of his hand or he made no attempt to throw the ball to the plate. I don't know if he would have got Dickerson. I don't know if it would have been close, but he threw the ball to the Yankee, who was kind of shocked that the ball was coming to him and not the 3rd baseman, at the very least, Ramirez.
Well, first it's the swing from Rosario. That's a gorgeous looking swing with the hard base hit. And Stu Cole says, yeah, let's go. But that throw was not even anywhere close to who it should have been to. It should have been to Ramirez.
30th RBI for the Baby Bull. 3-0 Colorado, all with 2 outs. Here's Wheeler. And again, this is a guy that's been in a great place. You mentioned it off the top of the broadcast. He has a 1 ERA over his last 4 outings.
He's given up 3 earned runs in 27 innings. Now he's given up 3.
And that's rifle to right.
And 3 here in the first inning.
That's
and all
4
with 2
straight
outs.
hits.
And it started off with the 2-out walk.
He's going to get Rick Kranitz on the jog to the mound. I mean, he punched out Blackman, and he got a little roller up the third base line, which was a relatively routine play for Ramirez on Barnes. Then the walk on 3-2 to Morneau. And Tulo lined it to right. Dickerson lined the ball down the left field line. Rosario and Wheeler. 3-0 Colorado. Terrific start. Time for the Steel T Heating and Air Cool Stat. Never a trip charge for a repair. That's a $69 value. Steel T, the T stands for trust. Go to steelt.com. So 130 pitchers have made at least 8 starts against the Rockies all time. Of those pitchers, the only pitcher to have never defeated the Rockies is Giovanni Gallardo, which again is surprising only because of the number of starts and the fact that this guy's got really good stuff. He's won a lot of ball games.
Well, he's 19 games over 500 at Miller Park. He's 46-27. Been around forever. Been an opening day starter for him.
Number of times.
Yeah. This is his first start against Colorado this year. The only start he had against them last year was opening day.
He got a no decision. The Brewers won in 10 innings on opening day.
From the swings now the guys are taking, you can tell they're locked in on Gallardo.
Two-1 on LeMahieu. That's a strike. 2-2. DJ the last few days been able to play in front of a lot of friends and family. He spent 5 years of his childhood in Madison, home of the Badgers.
Knocks in all 3 games.
He's played really well. 7 for 14, a 4-game hitting streak going. That's now a full count, so the runners will be off. See if DJ can make it 5 straight hits for the Rockies.
Yeah, and another 2-out hit.
It's funny how deals work out. Dan O'Dowd made a really good deal with the Chicago Cubs a couple years ago in acquiring Tyler Colvin, who was the bigger name, and DJ LeMahieu. And Tyler's battled some injuries. That is on the ground at third, safe there, so Ramirez has to go across the diamond. But DJ LeMahieu, what a great find he has been. What a terrific inning for the Rockies. They give Jorge De La Rosa 3 runs to start out with, all with 2 outs. 2-run double, and that was followed up by a Willeen Rosario single to drive in the 3rd run. Jorge De La Rosa to the mound. Ricky Weeks started 3 of the 4 in this series because the Rockies is throwing 3 left-handers. Will lead things off for Ron Renicky, and the rest of their lineup brought to you by Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. Braun in the 2 spot. He has great numbers against De La Rosa, 8 for 11. And then Lucroy, 2nd in the league in hitting to Tulo at 336. Aramis Ramirez. Chris Davis has been on a tear. Mark Reynolds. Jeff Bianchi will bat 7th. And Ilian Herrera will be in center field and batting 8th. As you mentioned, Gallardo can swing it at the bottom of that order. More numbers on De La Rosa brought to you by Inova Cancer Care, a novel approach to cancer care. Visit InovaCC.com.
Well, something has to change today. We talked about Gallardo and his struggles with the Rockies. Let's hope that the struggles that Jorge has had in the previous games against Milwaukee changes. It's nice for him, though, to go out onto the hill and have some run support, have an early lead in this game, and just take a little bit of the pressure off where you don't feel like you have to be so fine. And if there's ever a time you need Jorge to step up and stop this slide, it's right now, today. This is why he was the opening day starter, and now a chance for him to put his foot down.
Give the Rockies some length, even though it was not a good performance by Chacin yesterday. He worked into the 6th inning. Tyler Matzik threw a good ball game a couple of days back. Rockies need the rotation to do their part. Man, that's not how you want to start your day. No. Ricky Weeks throwing a bat into the stands. And hopefully everybody's okay. Watch out for flying bats and balls, literally.
Oh, here comes one. Very first pitch. Barely have time to get the mustard and ketchup on the hot dog. You got a bat flying into your seat. They just said it. Ricky just says keep it.
Yep, keep it. I'll go get another bat. Put a little more stickum on it.
It has to be terrifying. Sitting there, you see this bat helicoptering towards you.
In baseball, you can figure out a way either to make a play on it or move.
The bat, not so much.
Oh, 34-inch object spiraling toward you. And again,
32 ounces.
Yeah, fortunately, those ladies appear to be okay. 0-2 on Weeks. Ricky's 5 for 8 against De La Rosa. Back foot slider almost got the back foot. That's a sinker. Yeah, that's going to reach the seats out of play. Mordo's giving it a look. Now Jorge first got to the big leagues in a Milwaukee Brewers uniform back in 2004. Was with them in 2005. Just 5 games in 04 for De La Rosa. 38 games in 2005. The 38 games that year were all out of the bullpen. In his initial season, he made 5 starts. He was with him in 06 also.
Just trying to find out where he fit best.
Yeah, that's when he was trying to harness not only the command of a big fastball, but also his emotions. So there's his numbers with Milwaukee, and then he went on to Kansas City. And he has found, honestly, he's found stardom with the Rockies, 62 and 40.
It was 48 and 23 at Coors Field. No, 62 wins. That's 3rd best in Rockies history, trailing Jeff Francis, who has 64, and of course Aaron Cook was 72.
You think about it, if De La can get the win today, Huey, he'll have 8 victories after a very slow start. He had the brilliant May that you discussed earlier. and he'll be on pace again to produce 16 wins for the 3rd time in his career.
Yeah, and that's what he was last year, 16 wins. Well, the numbers, at least ERA wise in June, is not good, but it comes down to, did you get the W? And that's where pitchers are ranked.
On the ground is short, sharply hit. Troy's got it. Weeks is retired. 1 out. Take a look at the Rockies defense, brought to you by Excel Energy. Visit responsiblebynature.com today to learn more. Dickerson's in left again. Charlie Blackmon slides to center. Brandon Barnes is in right. Wheeler at third. Tulowitzki and LeMahieu up the middle with Justin Morneau back in there at first base. And the Baby Bulls behind the plate. 1 out. Ryan Braun will come up. Now things got to swing De La Rosa's way at some point with Braun. 8 for 11, 3 doubles, 2 home runs, 9 RBIs. That's the guy who's had your number. And this ball to left field, and it'll be caught by Dickerson.
Well, that's the start.
Yep. 2 outs. Lucroy will come up. See, they're not booing
him?
No, they're not booing him. They're not booing him.
That's the great thing about having a name like Lou Croy. Steve Buechele, when I played with him in Texas, same way when I first got there, it was like boo, and I'm like, why are they booing? Oh yeah, okay. So that way, if you have a bad game, you don't know. You think they're just cheering for you.
They got my back. Lucroy's been mashing the baseball. 6 for 13 in the series. He had 3 more hits yesterday. Single, double, single. The only time the Rockies got him out, he was on a squibbed ground ball to the right side that scored a run. So he got a ribby out of the deal. That was when Braun came home on the kind of miscommunication between Ryan Wheeler and DJ.
That's when actually, you know things are,
it was DJ at the time. Yeah.
Things are going well.
Two and 1. Lucroy, one of 5 Brewers with 40 or more RBIs. They're the only team in baseball that have 5 players that have produced at least 40 ribbies. And you know, not far off is Mark Reynolds. He's in the 30s in RBIs.
We also have six guys with 8+ home runs, so that's why the RBI total's up.
You know, they've been well balanced. 3 and 1.
Where's that pitch? Was it down? No. Bottom of the 4th strike zone.
Rockies up 3-0, and it's a 3-2 count now on Lucroy with 2 outs in the bottom of the 1st.
Walt's happy to see that 3-0, that first inning, and more importantly, the 2-out RBIs, something that has eluded them.
Walt deserves to see 33-0 on the scoreboard right about now. Right center field. Blackmon will make the catch. Good start for De La Rosa. Good start offensively and defensively for the Rockies. They're up 3-0 as we go to the 2nd.
As they come to bat here in the second with a 3-0 lead over the Brewers in Milwaukee. Yovani Gallardo facing Jorge De La Rosa, a couple of Mexican-born pitchers. How about today's all-copy fun fact? And we take a look at, in terms of wins, the top Mexican-born pitchers. Fernando is at the top with 173. Then you go down from there, and you see Jorge De La Rosa with his 77 at the bottom. Jorge had 4 with Milwaukee. Higuera and Gallardo are in the middle. They're 94 and 86 all with the Brewers as De La Rosa gets ready to hit, guys.
Yeah, interesting. Those two guys keep moving up that chart, led by Fernando Valenzuela. And matched up today on a Sunday afternoon. And here's Gallardo facing De La Rosa, literally, and the first pitch is down low, ball 1.
I'll finish your thought on that World Cup game. Netherlands scored 2 goals in the span of 5 minutes to beat Mexico.
That is a base hit. The Yankee can't get it. And De La Rosa has himself a knock against Gallardo.
4th hit of the season. 4 for 26 for De La. I can hit too. Talk about Gallardo. Gallardo might have more power, but I have better placement.
Top of the order, Charlie Blackmon, who struck out swinging, leading off the ball game. Rockies 0-6 against the Brewers this year. Typically, they've played very well against Milwaukee, and over the last few years, they've played well at Miller Park. No swing. They check it out with Dan Iasanya.
The Rockies are 63 and 57 all time against the Brewers. They won the series the last 2 times prior to this one at Miller Park.
And Charlie breaks his bat and hits it to Braun in deep right field. He makes the catch on the track.
Shows you the strength of Charlie.
Yeah, that bat snapped, and yet the ball went about 330 feet. Brandon Barnes coming up with 1 out. Time now for the Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Teams to sweep a series against the Rockies of at least 5 games or more. The Braves in that inaugural season went 13-0 against Colorado, and then the irony is 2 years later the Rockies were facing him in the postseason. And then 0-3, the Braves swept the Rockies 6-0. The Phils in 0-8, 5-0. That's the only 3 times it's happened. The Brewers, whoa, that was almost an error on Gallardo.
I don't think Reynolds was ready. Didn't think he was going to throw. You might want to tell him, hey, I'm playing behind. Don't throw over.
Yeah, Gallardo looking in the dugout saying, why is he not holding him?
Right. Why didn't somebody tell me?
Now, if you're wondering, could he have not thrown it? Well, he could have not thrown it, but it's a balk. Unless you step off the back.
Because Reynolds was so close to the bag still. So he's in the vicinity.
Barnes drives it to deep left field. Davis going back, and he won't make a play. It hops off the top of the wall. De La Rosa into third. Barnes has himself a double. Twisted Chris Davis all around. That ball was driven with authority, and the Rockies in business again here in the second.
Well, you could tell how hard it was hit because Davis thought he was going to have a play on it, and then he started to backpedal. Brandon been scuffling, comes out in a big way with this double, but Davis goes back, thinks he has it, reaches up. That's 2 plays in 2 innings for Chris Davis. One with a throw last half inning, and now this play in left field. But Brandon will gladly say thank you.
Check swing by Morneau. RBI position for Justin, who leads the club with 57, and he's second in the National League in that department to Giancarlo Stanton.
They're playing the infield in on the left side, but back on the right at least halfway. Not all the way in.
Well, you can do that. You have a slow runner at third. You don't have a fast guy at the plate.
And it does help when the pitcher is at third.
Tulowitzki on deck. Already 3-0 Colorado. Here's the 2-0. And this ball's driven to deep center field. Herrera going back into the shadows will make the catch. And De La Rosa can walk home. Barnes tags and goes to third. RBI number 58 for Morneau. It's 4-0 Colorado. And he almost hit that thing out of here.
You manufacture runs.
Just a professional at bat. He got himself in a fastball count and showed up. And he drove the ball to the outfield, which was his intent.
And he just stayed centered, stayed in the middle part of the field, hits it to dead center field about 398 feet away. But also the smart base running from Brandon Barnes at second. He realized Herrera was going to catch it. He goes back and tags. Now he's at third base where a wild pitch or a pass ball comes into play. If Troy doesn't drive him in.
Tell you what, Gallardo's missing in the middle of the plate, and he's getting hammered right now. No cheapies in terms of hits for the Rockies. They have 6 already. Gallardo 41 pitches in with 2 outs in the second inning. Troy singled sharply to right last inning. 0-2.
Now anticipate a ball in the dirt if you're Brandon at third. Even with that fastball, it wasn't a pitch that he was trying to get a strikeout on. It was a setup for the next pitch or the pitch after. Ramirez is playing deep. You can get off as far as the third baseman is playing back. Just keep walking.
Inside. Did you like to start with a smaller lead and walk into the lead off third?
Yes, and then make sure once that ball crosses the plate that you're landing and planting on your right leg, because that way you can go either way. You can either bust home or get back to the bag.
Troy held up 3-2.
The pitchers aren't going to worry about picking off over at third, especially with 2 outs. So it makes it easier when you take your lead. You see how far Ramirez is off from the bag. So Brandon keeps looking back, make sure he's not creeping in. You're getting help from your third base coach if that happens. But now you just slowly creep and walk.
And Troy hits it in the air to center field. Deep and playable for Herrera. He'll make the catch. Rockies get another run. Single by De La Rosa. Barnes a double. Morneau a sac fly. 4-0 Rockies. Start in Milwaukee. They're up 4-0 as we go to the bottom of the second inning, and it's time for you to tweet us your Rockies fan photos. Use the hashtag COFanPhoto for an opportunity to have it shown during an upcoming game broadcast, and that is sponsored by AT&T. Rockies have really hit Gallardo hard, which has been what they've done throughout their history facing Yovani Gallardo. Aramis Ramirez to face Jorge De La Rosa. De La worked a 1-2-3 first inning. And inside ball one at 90 miles an hour. Brewers have a home record of 24-17 and the best road record in baseball. Off speed in there for a strike. So Gallardo has never pitched particularly well against the Rockies, and De La Rosa has never pitched well against his original club. 1-2 and 8.39 ERA. He's trying to turn that around this afternoon. Brandon Barnes in right field has it, 1 out.
Good early start for De La Rosa, because you're right, Drew. 23 earned runs in 24 2/3 innings coming in to the game for De La.
Huey Subaru, in case you were unaware of this, brings you the manager's challenge. If there's a questionable call, instant replay will be used to determine the outcome. It's brought to you by Subaru. Love, it's what makes a Subaru a Subaru.
Ron Renick's had 11 challenges on the year. He's 6-5. Walt Weiss 24 challenges.
Yeah, we made mention of that the other day, that Renick's only challenged, when we made mention of it, was only 10 times. And it was kind of a surprisingly low number. I guess everything's going the way of the Brewers right now. They're 19 over 500. There have been many reasons to challenge, I guess. There's the 1-0 on Davis. 1-1. Boy, that ball was chopped right near our friends who just got the baseball bat. Just to their right. Ended up a few rows above them.
And they just gave a foul ball to a youngster.
Heck,
always like to see that.
Yeah. They get a baseball today, and then maybe somebody throws a glove their way. They're going to be playing a game when they get home.
Might not wait till they get home. We'll go back out to the parking lot where they had a tailgate before the game.
They had the post-game spread and a little hardball in between, right? 2 balls and a strike on Chris Davis. Good pitch. Man, what a spectacular day.
Well, after that rain went through yesterday, last night it was beautiful. Well, today, it's 80 degrees.
It's not too warm.
It's supposed to be warm in D.C. the next 3 days.
Usually is this time of year, right?
Yes.
High 3-2. See what Bryce Harper did last night in the Double-A game?
Yeah, 4 for 5, but 3 of those were big flies.
They did get him out once.
One time. And they're still saying he's probably on track for Monday. The Rockies come into town.
And De La Rosa walks Davis with 1 out. You know, last outing, De La Rosa beat the Cardinals. He went 7 innings. He gave up 5 runs, 4 earned on 9 hits. He wasn't super sharp, but he didn't walk anybody. It was his first start of at least 6 innings without walking a batter since 2011. We're reminded of that with the 1-out walk here in the second of Davis. That'll bring up Mark Reynolds.
The 14th career game that he has not walked a batter.
And Reynolds out front. who hits a lot of home runs, has not hit one since June the 2nd. 13 on the season, 3 for 16 lifetime with a home run against De La Rosa. And it's 0-2 on the former Diamondback.
Not hitting well at Miller Park. 170 average.
That always surprised me. This is a good offensive
well,
yard.
And I think that this batter's eye, like Arizona, Colorado, it has one of the best in the game. It's huge out there. You don't lose the ball. It's coming out of a dark area. You pick it up easily.
Tulo gets there. Could be two. There's one on first. Double play. Well done. 6-3 on that twin killing, and the Rockies will take a 4-0 lead to inning number 3 at Miller Park. Is brought to you by the Ford Fusion. Power you want and good looks too. Ford, go further. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. And by Jeep. Visit jeep.com to learn more. Drew Goodman, Jeff Houston, Mark Stout off the Milwaukee River. Cheeseheads. Listen, it's always football season in Wisconsin. So
well, I think
Cheeseheads out.
Yeah, he's using that more as a sunblock today instead of a cheese block.
I think you're right. And he's incognito evidently also. Corey Dickerson lined a double down the left field line to drive in 2 with 2 outs in the first inning. And if you didn't see it, here it is again.
Great piece of hitting from Corey to go with the pitch. I know about his power. Those 2-out RBIs are so critical, and they give you so much lift in the dugout.
4 runs, 6 hits already for the Rockies. That was a drop and drive swing from Dickerson. It's 0-2. That was a Reggie swing.
Yeah. Number 44 when he had 3 home runs in the World Series. Where he had that back leg. It was almost like, remember Seaver, Tom Seaver, that drop and drive, and his right knee would always be dirty. Reggie's left knee would be dirty from his swing.
Yeah, you know who else was like that on the right side? Andrew Jones.
Yes.
(0-2), and this is in the air to left field. Davis has it, 1 out. So Gallardo against the Rockies, or rather the Rockies against Gallardo, have hit coming into the ball game .307. That's the highest average of any team in the National League in Gallardo's career. They have slugged .492. That is the best of any National League team. The only team that is hit for a higher average is the Red Sox, but he's only faced the Red Sox twice.
And that's a pretty large sample size. You say 1, 2, even 3 games. You say, okay, well, who knows? But when you're talking about 9 games, now the 10th game, 9th start, definite pattern.
Absolutely. He might start getting the flu when he sees the Rockies on the schedule. This is down the left field line, and Davis bails out on it, and it's fair. That was a weird route. Rosario into second with a fly ball double.
Well, this is 3 plays by Chris Davis in left field. And I'm not sure what he is doing, because you're right, that route was awful. Willeen will take the double. But watch the route. I think this is just a fly ball. Davis comes in, goes back, and goes back again. And the interesting thing about this is there's no sun or shadows or glare where it would cause you right now to misplay the ball.
They'll take advantage.
Yeah.
Willeen's 2 for 2. Wheeler had a line single his first time up. He gets a breaking ball. He's had a good series. He's had a good series offensively. He's had a good series defensively also, particularly at third. He had to start at first base yesterday. One and one on the California native, Ryan Wheeler. Pitch looked low, didn't it?
Well, and C.B. Buckner does not have a reputation as being a good ball and strike umpire.
Wow. He went to the bag.
And Wheeler was trying to hit the ball to where the shortstop had vacated. I mean, he breaks, he wants the pick, and the ball delivered to home. Hitters see that in the box, and you adjust your swing as that ball's coming, and you hope that you can hit that hole over there.
1-2. That's pulled to first. Reynolds to the bag. 2 outs. And Rosario to third. LeMahieu coming up. See if they pitch to him. First base is open. You'd imagine they'd walk him down 4 runs already. Fans, tweet your questions using the hashtag Toyota Talk, and watch as we answer your questions during the 5th inning of every game. That's Toyota Talk. Comes your way in inning number 5.
And they're not going to walk him.
Make them pay.
Yes, indeed. We were just telling Ramirez, though, watch the bunt.
Inside on DJ. Ground ball to third on a 3-2 delivery his first time up. Rosario at third. He had a double with 1 out. Now 2-1 on LeMahieu, 2 gone. Rockies up 4-0. And a base hit to right. And the strategy backfires on Ron Renicky and the Brewers. It's 5-0. Way to go, DJ.
Make them pay. You want to gamble? You feel like, oh, you can get him out? Best feeling in the world for an 8th eighth hole hitter.
And you hit in that
Yes.
spot quite a bit, and you take it as a slap.
It's almost like when they intentionally walk somebody else to get to you. You take it that personal, but the way he lets the ball travel and get deep into his swing, still hitting against a firm front side, but the contact point is deeper because the pitch is away from him.
5 runs on 8 hits, and maybe other than the fly ball double by Rosario, every hit has been sharply struck.
All 5 runs scored with 2 outs. It's another key point.
Absolutely. A 1 on Dela. He had a base hit. Had to bend out of the way of that one. Rockies have lost 11 of 12. Trying to turn a positive streak around. Ooh, what do we have here? DJ took off. He got such a huge jump, 0-2, but it doesn't matter. It's strike 3 on De La Rosa. Rockies come up with another run. They got 3 in the first. They got a run in the second. 1 more in the third on a DJ LeMahieu base hit. 5-0 Colorado. Nothing, 5 runs, 8 hits, nothing across the bottom line for the Milwaukee Brewers. Hey, don't miss a night of rock and roll legends in Colorado. Live Nation presents Journey and the Steve Miller Band in concert July 16th at Pepsi Center. Great seats are on sale now at livenation.com. What a night we had last night with an afternoon ball game. Summerfest going on. What did we catch? Oreo Speedwagon. We got a little bit of Michael McDonald, former lead singer of the Doobie Brothers.
And also Dennis DeYoung,
who was the lead singer from Styx. It was 3 for 1. And we could hear Luke Bryan in the distance.
In the far distance.
In the far distance. Good night.
It's the first time I've been to Summerfest.
What a deal. It goes on for several weeks, and they have great acts every single night.
It's just one ticket. You get in, other than Luke Bryan last night, just one general admission ticket. Get in, walk around, listen to the bands.
Yeah, the different stages set up. Great deal. Here is Jeff Bianchi, 27-year-old versatile infielder who can also run out to the outfield if necessary. He's with the Nashville Sounds, their AAA affiliate. He was taking batting practice yesterday when he got a call. Here it's a fly ball to center field. Packed his bags and got on a plane from Chicago or excuse me, to Chicago, and they had a car waiting for him to take him up. And
I was going to say, you hopped on a plane in Chicago, you just drove.
Yeah, at that point you might as well drive. Exactly. His poor wife, though, she had to pack up, and she's pregnant with their first, and you've been there.
I don't know how many times my wife Wendy and her mom had to pack up our apartment and move and all everything, and I got to fly first class.
There's a lot of places I could. Yeah, exactly. She should be flying first class right now. You should be in cargo. Not that I shouldn't be there with you. My wife in first class also. 243 average for the former Dodger, Elian Herrera. Dale is 1-0. Tardy swing on a 91-mile-an-hour fastball, and it's 1-1. Herrera is a switch hitter.
Speaking of switch hitters, yesterday I was up here, I was working on my book. I saw somebody down on the field hitting left-handed. I couldn't figure it out because I knew it wasn't Herrera.
It's a bunt attempt. Morneau is going to have to run in the baseline, and he got there for the out.
But it was Carlos Gomez, center fielder. He was hitting left-handed because he takes so many swings right-handed. He used to be a switch hitter, and then the Mets switched him just to hitting right-handed because he didn't have enough power. But he likes to take swings. He takes about 60 or 70 swings a day left-handed to keep the body even, he said. So he doesn't get too strong on one side. It was a good swing.
I bet you it was because he originally did it. And he's so strong. I bet you he hit some in the suits, huh?
He did, and it was fun to watch. Like I said, I was surprised who it was until I went down later on and I was asking around.
This Gallardo, he hasn't had a great year with the bat, but this is one of the best hitters among pitchers in baseball. He has 12 career home runs. Remember a few years ago, I think it was 2010, he had 4 home runs.
They weren't cheap ones.
And that's why you get a changeup on a 1-0 pitch, and it's 1-1.
Well, the first 8,000 fans on Wednesday, July 9th will receive a Great Clips coupon. Stylists will be on site providing haircuts and collecting donations for Colorado Rockies charities, presented by Great Clips. Brandon Barnes.
You got some of his hair cut, not all of it. I get Cargo did it for him, right?
Yes.
2-2. See, we're not calling for the shots here. What's wrong with Culberson's hair? Why would you show that?
Now,
got good hair. Make a haircut. It's Mike Fox, our director, deciding to show your hair, Colby, so don't get on us. In the air to shallow center, and this one's going to drop. Blackman saw a big swing and didn't pick it up initially, so it'll drop for a single.
And that's 3 balls in the last 2 games that have come within about a 10-foot circle out there. This is where the collision took place between Carlos Gomez yesterday and Ryan Braun.
First hit for Milwaukee. 2 outs. Ricky Weeks at the plate. And that skips away, and Gallardo almost got caught in no man's land. So maybe I should move up. Wait a second, we're down 5 runs and I'm a pitcher. Let me get back.
Yeah, and if I get thrown out, it's not good. Buried fastball. Willeen blocks it. Gallardo takes off. Thinks wisely of, I better stop. But because Willeen had thought about he was going to second base and that's what he heard, he didn't have time to readjust and make the throw to first. That was a cut fastball at 87 miles an hour.
In the month of May, that probably was the best pitch that Jorge utilized.
28 innings in May. Only gave up 18 hits.
Saw an awful lot of bats among righties. 1-1. And Weeks fouls this one off. It's 1-2 on Ricky. Ricky's dad was a very good player. He went to Seton Hall initially and played baseball, and then down to Stetson in Florida to finish his degree and also his baseball career. Taught the game to Ricky and Jamal, and obviously taught them well.
You say Jamal just got recalled?
They're waiting. It's Machado because he's challenging. He's appealing that suspension, and if he's going to get suspended for a certain number of games. Initially, it was 5 for the bat throwing incident, and when he has to sit out, they're going to bring up Ricky's little brother by 4.5 years, Jamal. We were talking the other day. They've never played together. They're very close. And we were talking about the Upton brothers, saying how cool that would be if one day they were able to play on the same team. Be easier for mom and dad too, right?
Just one ticket to buy to one location.
Yeah. Two on Weeks. Ricky making his 25th start today at second base. Scooter Gennett starts against right-handed pitching at second. It's his bobblehead day today, isn't it, Gennett?
Scooter's it is.
Swung on and missed. Good pitch. Cut her in. And that's the first strikeout of the afternoon for De La Rosa. Gave up his first hit, the bloop single to Gallardo. Through 3 innings, it's all Rockies. 5-0.
Charlie Blackmon is about to lead off. And since we're halfway through the season, I decided to ask Troy Tulowitzki about Charlie Blackmon and the year he's having.
Question I've got a lot is, did you expect this from Charlie? And I can't say I expected the results that he's getting, but as far as someone that's prepared, someone that comes to work every day and gets the most out of his ability, Charlie's that guy. And that's the guy that you want around, because you hope that some of these younger guys and some of these people that you wish put in more time follow Charlie around, because his day's full of trying to get better, and that's why he's where he's at.
Always hear that Charlie Blackmon is prepared. Look at his numbers, the consistency he has had as we go month by month to here nearly July for Charlie Blackmon. And he fouls this one off. Guys?
Well, listen, everybody has a different talent level, and Charlie certainly has an abundance of talent, but you have to appreciate the guy who has talent and puts in the time to maximize their ability, whatever that ability is, and that's certainly Charlie Blackmon. It's Troy Tulowitzki also.
By the way, Tom is with me. Tom has got his cheese head on, and Tom, it's not only for football, it's for baseball too?
That's right. All Wisconsin sports. We're all cheeseheads here, so I got my cheese head on.
He's got a mustache too, because he said all the Brewers have good mustaches.
Yeah, all the good Brewers got mustaches. All the good ones.
So I know you guys wanted to see who had the cheese head on. It's Tom.
That's right. Go Brewers.
Fly ball right field, and Blackmon is retired.
I'll just finish up on that thought for Charlie. And I think one thing, if you could relay to kids, when you're talking about work ethic, one thing I always taught mine is that sometimes you can't control wins and losses, but you can control how hard you work. And that's where you put in the effort, you control your work, and then you just leave it out there. There's going to be games that go against you, and that happens in sports. But don't go out there ill-prepared.
Control the controllables. Brandon Barnes, that kind of player. Double his last at bat off the wall and left. The Yankees going to throw him out here by a stride. 2 outs. Well, the Rockies have Gallardo right where they want him right now. 2 outs. That's where the Rockies have done their damage. All 5 runs with 2 outs. Wells Fargo customers, get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank. Justin Morneau does not have an official at bat. 2 plate appearances, a walk, and a run scored, and a sac fly.
Already getting the shadows creeping out to the infield. Shadows covering home plate. Pitcher in sunlight. And if you're wondering, yesterday, because of the 3 o'clock start, they closed half of the roof to eliminate this problem. But they don't like to change the dynamics of the roof and the shadows after the game has started. Right, so that's why they started with it open. They'll leave it open unless there's a threat of rain.
This ballpark is very similar to Chase Field in Phoenix in a lot of ways. That's a strike, 3-2.
Well, even the panels out in center field, I mean, those open up, so that's fresh air going out to center. It's not glass, that's open, and it creates a wind tunnel that catches it and then goes back out.
Strike 3 on Morneau. He's not happy with C.B. Buckner, and you can see why. Pitch was low. That's down. 5-0 Colorado. Yeah, that's great news, Jenny. Thank you. Nolan doubling a single last night. Maybe we can accelerate that process a little bit to get back here. Ryan Braun will lead it off in the 4th inning against De La Rosa, and the first pitch misses, ball 1. Braun a fly ball to left field, his first at bat.
Unlike the 5 RBIs today for Colorado, both of the RBIs for Nolan last night were with 2 outs. And that's something that you also miss from Nolan. Half his RBIs were with 2 outs.
Well, as Walt points out frequently, you miss his offense, you miss his defense. He's without parallel at third base with the glove. You miss his energy.
And that's something that's tough to replace.
There's certain guys, Huey, you played a long time. There's certain guys, here's the 1-1, that every day that you walked in a clubhouse with the various teams you played for, you knew they weren't going to be dragging. They just had that kind of personality.
Everything was upbeat. They had a smile on their face. I mean, you could have got beat however bad the day before, and he could have been 0 for. But he comes in the next day, he wipes it clean. He says, hey, I'm here again. Let's get after it. With the big smile, lifts everybody up.
Because it is a long year. And, yes, they're paid handsomely to play a game, but there's all kinds of pressures. There's stuff just like we all have that are going on outside of your job. And he's one of those guys that every day, man, he's got that proverbial bounce in his step. Barnes is like that in right field. Brandon's always upbeat, high energy, 3-2. And you need those guys, as you said, to help pick up the other guys on the days that you're a little flatter.
And this isn't including spring training, but think about this. You're playing 162 games in roughly 182 days. So I don't care. I mean, you love the game, you enjoy it, you put on that uniform, and you want to act like a kid, and I get all of that. But there are certain days where you wake up and you're like, oh, man. Okay, we got to get after it today. I got to find that energy somehow. And then you go in the clubhouse, that guy's there. He's the one that helps bring that energy.
Well, think about it in whatever your position is in life, whatever you do for a living. There are days you wake up and you're like, oh, man, I'm a little sluggish
today.
No
matter how much you love your job.
Yeah, no matter how much you enjoy it, you're a little sluggish. You got to fire up. Well, that may be sitting behind a desk or whatever it is, but these guys sluggish, but you have to be active, so that doesn't work. Another 3-2 on Braun, and this is in the air to deep right field. Barnes not going to have a play. Opposite field home run for Ryan Braun, his 3rd career home run against De La Rosa, and Milwaukee's on the scoreboard. It's 5-1.
Now 9 for 13 in his career with 10 RBIs against De La.
That's his 11th home run of the year.
He still has power to the opposite field. Watch where this ball is, though. And that was the pitch before that he fouled off. But that pitch was belt high. It was off the back wall of the Rockies bullpen. Hops up into the stands.
Lucroy, and he fouls it off. The Hyundai League leaders brought to you by your Colorado Hyundai dealers. Batting average in June, 3 Brewers on there. I'm surprised the way they've played. Scooter Gennett, Jonathan Lucroy, and Aramis Ramirez. Giants are happy Posey's having a big month. He has struggled since the All-Star break of last year offensively. Evan Gaddis had a big year. This ball's lined to left. This one's going to reach the wall. It'll be a double for Lucroy. They're booing him again, Huey.
Yeah. Because he hit another double. His 28th this season, on pace to set a record for doubles in a season by a Brewer.
He's on pace for mid-50s in terms of doubles.
Jonathan Lucroy is really not a hole in his swing. You try to figure out, what can I get him away, maybe go down and in, and he covers that too. Lucroy tied for the major league lead in doubles with the 28 with Miguel Cabrera and Paul Goldschmidt.
He's in the dirt, a wild pitch. And Lucroy the third. Nobody out here in the fourth.
Not much Lane can do when it hits in the batter's box off the chalk. At the feet of the batter, you slide over, but there's so much rotation and spin on the baseball. When it hits off you, it kicks the other way. 37 wild pitches. Second most in the National League, tied with Pittsburgh. But with the 5-1 lead, you play the infield back, you'll trade an out for a run. If you're Walt in the game.
Look at the lineup for the Brewers. It's been a couple of years since Prince Fielder was hitting behind Ryan Braun. Can't think of many lineups in baseball other than the Brewers that are really devoid of a left-handed middle of the bat player.
It is unusual that you don't have one. I mean, Lyle Overbay's on that list, but he's not a middle of the lineup guy anymore.
No.
He's a 6th or 7th place hitter now.
Scooter Gennett, but Scooter Gennett's not a middle of the order bat. He's a good bat, really good bat.
Look at penmanship and the handwriting.
Not just anybody can write those.
No.
Fouled off. Tommy Runnels has great penmanship for the Rockies. And Jerry Narron does it for the Brewers. There's TR.
Different colored pins used signify whether they're a left-handed batter or maybe a switch hitter.
That's why you can see Herrera was in green. For the Rockies, that signifies he's a switch hitter. Ramirez fouls it off. Two. Home run by Braun, double by Lucroy, and on the wild pitch he moved to third. Nobody out. Rockies up 5-1, bottom of 4. Brewers team pretty much second in all significant offensive categories in the National League to the Rockies.
It's just been steady all year long. A lot of people wrote them off coming out of spring training, talking about the Cardinals, and well, they should. But the Pirates and what they had done last year, and then the Reds are always that team. Ron Renicky said in spring training, and Jonathan Lucroy said the same thing. Said, don't fall asleep on us. They've caught a lot of breaks, but they've also made their own breaks.
De La Rosa's making good pitches. Ramirez keeps nicking them. Stay alive, 3-2.
Well, MLB.TV Premium, the #1 live streaming sports service, is celebrating 12 years. Join the millions of subscribers and watch every out-of-market game live in true HD on over 400 devices.
And he loses it. That's the second walk allowed by De La Rosa. First and third for Chris Davis, who walked his first time. And Jim Wright will skip to the mound.
This is a chance for Jimmy just to let Jorge collect his thoughts. It's not so much about mechanics or what's happening there. Just remind him, just use the pitches that have worked for you. The fastball with some cut on it. Stay down in the zone. You're okay. You get a ground ball here. You roll it up. A couple outs. Davis, you have to be careful with him, especially on the inner half of the plate. Because he's just looking to turn and open those hips and pull the ball.
Auto glass damage, call SafeLight 303-287-5000, online at safelight.com. Home run, double, walk. And that's ball one. De La Rosa was outstanding the first 3 innings. Braun got him with an opposite field shot, and then Lucroy on the pull side had a double to the wall and left.
Other than a couple changeups, he hasn't had that split finger pitch that we're so accustomed to seeing. He's been overthrowing it, and those are the ones that have been down in the dirt.
Morneau will not have a play. It's 1-2.
I don't need a glove. Fix it with my bare hand.
Good block there by Rosario, so it's 2-2.
It's got to be closing in on about 10 or 11 that's been in the dirt that Williams had to block.
Yeah, and there's that fine line, Jeff, as you know, between a pitch that's a pitcher's pitch tantalizing, where it's out of the zone, but it will induce a swing, and one that out of the hand you can dismiss as there's no way it's a strike.
Right, and those ones that hit that far out in front, immediately you're saying, no, that's a ball.
Fouls off 93, 2-2.
Boy, what a shot. The shadow.
Ramirez takes off, and he'll swipe second base. It's big because it takes the double play out of order.
Second stolen base of the season for Ramirez.
And another full count. See this from De La Rosa before, where he'll get ahead of a hitter 0-2 or 1-2, and then the next thing you know, it's 3-2.
And that's when the pitch counts start to climb in a hurry. It's 67 here in the fourth inning.
I think De La was convicted on whatever pitch they had decided upon.
That's where he has to have the conviction, because he's the one that has the baseball. It's merely a suggestion from the catcher.
3-2.
This is just what Ramirez did too. Got it back to 3-2, then fouled off the cutter twice.
Field and deep. Barnes going back, leaps and makes the catch. Great play by Barnes. And Ramirez didn't tag for some reason.
He thought it was going over the head.
Well, if it goes over his head, he's going to score anyhow, right?
Right. You'll take that base running mistake from Aramis Ramirez at second base. Off the bat, you're thinking it was over Brandon's head. Athletically, he jumps and leaps, crashes into the wall, and then fire it back in to keep the base runner from advancing to third.
5-2. Mark Reynolds at the plate. Barnes made that incredible catch back at Coors Field a few days ago in the ninth inning against the Cardinals. That was a terrific play. I mean, you think about that play, that's an out as opposed to a 5-3 game, runner on second, still nobody out. That's how big that play was.
Right. And then you also get the help from Ramirez by not tagging it at minimum and getting to third.
Well, hopefully it turns out to be a really big play, and that he's stranded there. Just one out. (2-0) on Reynolds. Jeff Bianchi, who just got called back to the big leagues today, is in the on-deck circle. Not literally. Nobody stands in the on-deck circle. 3-0.
Well, because those on-deck circles are made out of a rubberized material, so when you stand on them,
you go down.
Yeah, you slip. So you want to be in the dirt. Material, that's all. Especially if there's any sort of moisture, those things are just accident waiting to happen.
Change up on a 3-0 pitch because De La Rosa knew Reynolds would be swinging.
The best changeup he's thrown today.
Challenges him. 3-2. And he got him.
Got that coming back from 3-0.
Yep, when changeup, fastball, changeup to strike out Reynolds. 2 outs in the fourth.
Split finger changeup. He didn't overthrow the last two. Same arm action as the fastball. The encouragement from Moline. Nice job.
Jeff Bianchi hit the ball in the air to Blackman in center. Last inning. Ramirez at second. 2 runs in for Milwaukee. It's 5-2 Colorado, bottom of 4. And a ground ball to third. Easy play for Wheeler. In the inning, a home run by Braun. Lucroy doubled, would eventually come around on the Davis sac fly. 5-2 Colorado. Go to the 5th. Tulowitzki will lead it off. Of free checkings, proud to support the home team. Sign up at efirstbank.com. Rockies got 5 runs in the first 3 innings. In fact, they got 3 runs in the first, all with 2 outs. Dickerson a 2-run double. Rosario threw out a base hit, and the Brewers have countered with a Ryan Braun home run, and they added another run in the bottom of the 4th. So it's 5-2 Colorado as we go to the 5th. With Jeff Houston and Mark Stout, I'm Drew Goodman. Tulowitzki, Dickerson, Rosario against Giovanni Gallardo, who until today had been pitching brilliant baseball. 2-0 with a 1 ERA his last 4. 12 of his 16 starts this year have been quality starts. The club's 9-7 when he starts. The opposition hitting just .234 against Gallardo, but the Rockies have always had his number. 5 runs, 8 hits through 4 innings. Troy's 1 for 2. Line single to right and a fly ball to fairly deep center field. Leading baseball at .349 with the batting average. And this is top to Bianchi, and safe. Troy beat it.
Yeah, it wasn't because the throw was high and pulled Mark Reynolds off the bag. Troy hustled down the line for an infield single.
That gives you an idea the legs are really good.
Ron Renicki's going to come out and talk it over while he get the indication from their clubhouse. But Bianchi throws it high. Troy was in there, and there was no signal from the first base umpire Trip Gibson that he had come off the bag.
No challenge. So that'll bring up Dickerson.
Two times today Troy's had to use his legs. One on that one, and then also the double by Dickerson where he scored from first base. Oh, 0-1 on Corey. Big gap in right center field.
Turns on that. Lines it into the seats.
Well, fans, the first 10,000 to the Rockies Padres game on Tuesday, July 8th will receive a coupon for a $1 hot dog. Get your ticket now. July 8th, the Padres are in town, but the first 10,000 coupon for a Hebrew National $1 hot dog. We hear some of the wind coming through our field mics. Oh, it's field level.
Picked up a little bit.
Well, with those windows open, we had a shot of it back in the second inning. Those windows are open. You see the flags blowing. It's hard for a player to determine. I mean, you can't really look at the flags throw up grass like you can in a normal stadium like at Coors Field because it swirls down here. So you might think it's blowing in. When the ball gets up high, it's actually blowing out, or vice versa. So you just have to really trust your instincts on the ball.
Rockies trying to counter the 2 runs scored in the bottom of the 4th by Milwaukee. Colorado 0-6 against the Brewers. This is the final matchup of the season. Now the pitcher and batter both entirely in the shadow of the roof.
It's a little better than one or the other. Still much preferred to have the pitcher in sunlight and then me as a batter in the shadows. I felt like I could pick up the ball or the rotation up quicker.
Yeah, I was going to say it's going to be hard to pick up spin if they're in the shadow. Two and two on Dickerson. Tulo off first. Down the line, past a diving Ramirez, base hit. And there's the ability again of Dickerson to hit all kinds of pitches in all quadrants of the strike zone, and then some that are not even in the strike zone. 2 hits for Dickerson, first and second, nobody out for Rosario.
Yeah, and we're going to show you on this next shot. We're going to freeze it again. Notice where the hands are. They're above the barrel. He had to raise the hands up to get to that ball and to hit it to left field. I'm laughing because that shouldn't happen with that pitch where it was, to be able to get on top of the baseball.
Wasn't a strike again.
No, it wasn't.
Boy, he's got unique ability. And that's pulled to third. It gets past Ramirez. A break for the Rockies. Tulo will score easily. Dickerson to third. Into second is Rosario. Now Dickerson's going to try to come home safe. They're going to. Oh, a horrible throw by Lucroy. Here comes Rosario. And he'll score. And the Brewers look like a team we can go find a park and play ball on a Sunday afternoon that don't get paid to do it.
That was the old Little League home run.
Wow. Crowd's in shock. 8-2. Everybody just kept running, and the Brewers were throwing it around the parking lot.
You'll take any runs you can get. First, Ramirez, it goes off his glove. So that allows Tulo to score, and then Corey Dickerson's racing hard all the way. He scores. Lucroy throws it into left field, and Rosario keeps running. I mean, here's the first one. Everybody's telling him to get down. He gets down. Lucroy throws it into left. Chris Davis backing up, but then he throws it in. 3 runs later.
Nice to see the Rockies on the receiving end of that. This ball on 2 hops to first, and Reynolds flips to Gallardo. So to score that, folks, it's an E5 initially that allowed Rosario to reach and Tulo to score and Dickerson to score, and then an E2 on Lucroy on the throw into left field that allowed Rosario to score.
But Rosario, I mean, he hustled the whole way. You know, hustled going into second, and then when the throw is going home, he goes to third.
I mean, Wooleen ran so much there. He was a catcher when he hit it. He's a middle infielder by the time he scores.
Lost a few pounds. Get up.
Oh, well, the wrong guy got up.
No, I was talking about the ball.
Yeah, I knew what you meant. The Reynolds got up, and LeMahieu loses a base hit. Hey, you know what we have? We got tacos. Fans, the Rockies have hit that magic number of 7. In fact, they've exceeded it. Don't forget to go to your participating Taco Bell locations tomorrow between 4 and 6 to get your Rockies taco special. De La Rosa, 2 outs, nobody on. 8-2 Colorado. 10 hits already. They've produced at least 9 hits in 10 of their last 11 games. Offense really hasn't been the issue. The Rockies have lost 11 of 12. It's just been a rough go in all facets of pitching. Typically the starters haven't performed well, and the bullpen's taken on a lot of water. Gallardo has it, and that'll end the inning. So the Rockies take advantage of some poor defense from Milwaukee. They have a 6-run lead. Bases and never stop. 8-2 Colorado. Let's look at this play again. First and second, nobody out. Dickerson was on bases. Ground ball to third.
A lot going on. First, it's the boot by Aramis Ramirez, his 5th error of this season. Bianchi throws it in. Takes a couple extra steps to release the ball. Didn't think Corey was going to go. Well, he scores, and then airmail to left. And the slide. Rosario saying help. Need some Gatorade.
He needs Gatorade. Stu Cole's got ice his right shoulder.
Well, Stu will take it. Rockies will take the miscue.
Yeah, Dickerson grabbed the back of his right leg, and I don't know if it was, what I hope it is a raspberry.
Yes.
Because he had to slide earlier in the game, and he went and got a new pair of pants.
Well, that tells me it was a raspberry, strawberry, whatever you want to call it.
Some sort of fruit on the,
not
the
the
back
good,
of the leg.
Yeah, not the good ones. They hurt.
They hurt, and not a pull.
Okay, there's the pants before. You always have 2 or 3 extra pair of pants in your locker.
You can't go out with that. That's a wardrobe malfunction.
And it goes back to where the dugout is in relation to the clubhouse. Real close. You can go back in, change it, and act like Superman. Come back that fast.
One on Herrera in the air to left field, and Corey will get there, so you can tell the hamstring's okay. One out. Gallardo coming up. First question during our Twitter Talk inning: if any throw hits a runner, is that runner awarded an extra base? Ball hits the runner, it didn't play.
A live ball.
They don't get awarded an extra base. You see it happen a lot of times on throws going to third from right field, where where the ball may glance off the runner as he's attempting to get there, and that's just good luck for the runner and bad luck for the team in the field.
And if it is a throw and it allows that runner then to advance another base, and it would be an error on the throw.
Oh, 1 on Gallardo. 0-2 on Gallardo. And a strikeout. 2 gone. That's 3 strikeouts for Jorge. Rookie Week's coming up. Who determines where the All-Star game will be played? That's the commissioner's office.
And it's every other year from National League to American League. It flip-flops. This year it's in the Twin Cities.
Well, the new stadiums are awarded or rewarded. Typically, the Rockies did a marvelous job in '98, and not all that long ago, sometime in the last year, I remember having a conversation with Dick Montfort about, when the Rockies would be in line for hosting another All-Star game. And it is a wait your turn type of situation. There's 29 other teams, but the Rockies, when it gets through this last cycle, because now it's been 16 years, we'll move to the top of the list probably, after 2020, you would assume, because of the marvelous job they did the first time around. The stadium is immaculate. The city is such a wonderful place to host big events like that.
Out in the rock pile for the All-Star game.
Is that right?
Yeah.
You were still playing, weren't you?
Yeah, but I was home. So
this ball's well hit the center, but
we all went to the game.
Grabbed there by Blackman. Yep, I was in left field or right field. Excuse me. 8-2 Colorado. 1-2-3 inning for De La Rosa. Your questions during Toyota Talk. For more answers, visit our Facebook page at facebook.com/RootSportsRN.
One final thought on that All-Star game. Next year's All-Star game is at Great America Ballpark in Cincinnati, Ohio.
Minneapolis this year, Cincinnati next year. Tom Gorzolani's now in, replacing Giovanni Gallardo. So Gallardo goes 5 innings, gives up 8 runs. The last 3 were unearned, so 8 runs, 5 earned on 10 hits. Gorzolani, who recently came off the disabled list, making his 5th appearance. Rockies saw him in Denver.
Well, they've seen him a lot, too, throughout his career with the Chicago Cubs. And a little fact about Tom Gorzolani that I remember with both Troy Tulowitzki's cycle and Carlos Gonzalez's cycle were against the Cubs. Starting pitcher in that game, Tom Gorzolani. Both games.
Interesting. And if I remember right, Cargo, when he hit the dramatic home run to the 3rd deck to win the game and finish his cycle, the walk-off in the bottom of the 9th, was that against Marshall?
It was against Sean Marshall. They brought him in. He hit it into the upper deck, landed right in the lap of somebody wearing a Cubs shirt.
Yeah, here's a baseball.
Yep.
Time to go.
Time to go. Bye-bye. Your game's over.
That thing was a monster shot. That's one of the great moments we've had the pleasure and good fortune of witnessing. This is just foul, fortunately for Charlie. Well, here's one thing that doesn't add up, because the Rockies have had such a difficult month, 7 and 18. But the Rockies, along with the Detroit Tigers, have produced the most 10-hit games in the month of June. And this game, as Walt will tell you, and any good baseball person will tell you, has been and always will be first and foremost about pitching. That's a broken bat, and it's going to drop. So Charlie Blackmon gets a knock.
That broken bat. He hit the broken bat. Ball went all the way to the warning track in the 4th inning. And he says, well, if I'm going to break my bat, I'm not going to hit it as hard. Hit it in front of Ryan Braun.
I'll bring up Barnes. Brandon with a double back in the 2nd inning to deep left. Ground ball to 3rd, ground ball to short as well. Eight runs, 11 hits for the Rockies. 2-3-2 for the Brewers today. 2 runs, 3 hits, 2 errors.
Well, of the 8 runs, 5 of them were earned. All 3 last half inning. Unearned, doesn't matter. It still says 8 on the board. Gorzolani and Zach Duke, who we saw last night, were teammates in Pittsburgh. Supposed to be 2 of their aces.
Yeah. They've run through some pitching in Pittsburgh. And Gorzolani strikes out Barnes. 1 out. Let's check in with Mark.
You guys had a conversation with Doug Melvin. He's the GM of Milwaukee. He's also Canadian like Justin Morneau. And I said, were you guys interested in Morneau in the offseason? Justin signed with the Rockies in December, and then Milwaukee signed Lyle Overbay about a month later. And he said, yeah, we bantered the idea about, but he said that he heard that Morneau was talking to Kadire and figured they didn't have any chance. Justin told me he talked to 3 people in making his decision to come to the Rockies. Michael Kadire, Larry Walker, and Jeff Francis. He said he didn't talk to anybody in the front office. That's all he needed to know. And I'm pretty happy that the Rockies decided to sign him.
Absolutely. He has been fabulous. Second in the National League in RBIs. He's got 58. Hits a towering pop-up to short right. Ryan Braun makes a catch. Braun yesterday had to play the last inning in center field when Gomez went out. It was the first time in his career he was in center field.
Professionally, even down in the minor league, never, because he was the third baseman. He came up as a third baseman. And they moved him to left field. This year, moving him to right.
Tulo's 2 for 3. 5 for 11 lifetime against Gorzolani. And a strike on Troy. So Troy has selected one member of the home run derby team in the National League as captain.
Well, he would have been at the top of the short list for me, too.
He would have been at the top of everybody's list. Giancarlo Stanton, not only is he leading the National League in home runs, but he is the biggest, strongest guy in baseball, probably, in terms of hitting the baseball over the wall.
I don't know if you saw, but the home run he hit down in Miami to right field, I mean, it was on the line. It looked like it was a left-handed pull hitter. And you know how big that ballpark is. To hit one out over there from the right-handed box.
Yeah, he leads the National League with 21 home runs. This ball's well hit to center field, and it's tracked down by Herrera. Good play by Herrera. If he was playing at Great American or Yankee Stadium or a lot of other stadiums, can't imagine how many home runs he'd have. 8-2 Colorado. Twist here. You go from the larger variety to a smaller variety, but we had a problem here because somebody got a jump start. You think you're watching the race? Somebody already finished.
We got a little boost from somebody in the dugout. Not going to be naming names. But they told him to leave early.
So which
chorizo.
The chorizo today. The mini chorizo.
The mini chorizo.
Congratulations to the mini chorizo. I don't know if that will be reviewed or not in New York. It seemed like on the tag up, they left early.
I'm not going to say the fix was in. I'm just leave it to the people to sort it all out.
Well, the commissioner does live here. He's run by his house. Get him to weigh in.
You have the Chorizo T-shirt.
Might have to get one on the way out of town. Ryan Braun will lead off against De La Rosa. He hit a home run against him in the 4th inning. 8-2 Colorado inside.
Not sure what that was by Braun. Was he faking it, that he wasn't gonna, or he was gonna lay down a bunt? I don't think so.
Not buying that.
No.
Neither is Ryan Wheeler at third.
Nor should he.
Two and one. And 3-1. 89 pitches in for De La Rosa as he works here in the 6th inning.
Ideally get him through the 6. The bullpen only has to pick up the last 3. With a 6-run lead, don't be putting extra guys on. Even just go attack Braun. Don't walk him.
Down the line, fair ball. And Ryan Braun is now 10 for 14 lifetime against De La Rosa. 4 doubles, 3 home runs. Sometimes some guys just have your number.
Yeah, and that's what Ryan Braun has with Jorge. You fall behind 3-1, it just jumps the odds of any hitter up. And Ryan Braun sneaks one past the bag at third base off the wall. 16th double of the season for Ryan. Fans, one of my favorite movies, and you don't want to miss this in the first annual movie night at Coors Field on Sunday, July 13th, with a post-game showing of the movie The Sandlot. To order your movie night ticket package, including a limited edition blanket, go to Rockies.com/movie. Movie night, The Sandlot, the ballpark, winning combination.
Sounds like it. Jonathan Lucroy doubled and scored in the 4th inning. He's 1 for 2. Blackman in right center. Charlie makes the catch, and Braun will move up 90 feet. 1 out. That'll bring up Ramirez. Playing the stands. 1 strike on Aramis. He walked his last time up. 0 for 1.
This is one of those players that hasn't changed his stance over time. It's been the same.
It's worked for him.
Yep, up on the toe on the left foot. Hands in the same position.
And that's going to go to the backstop. Braun walks home. 8-3 on the wild pitch. That's the second wild pitch of the ball game for De La Rosa.
And quite a few of these pitches today. The hitter's getting out of the way because they're by the feet. Willian's trying to block it. It's a guess where it's going to go because it hit 1.5 feet out in front of home plate, where they soften that area up. So the ball is not the same as it is once it gets behind home plate.
Morneau's not going to have enough room. Atlanta, probably surprisingly, has the most wild pitches in the National League. The Rockies are second. I say surprisingly because they usually have impeccable control, and
yes,
they're having a great year despite all of their injuries throwing the baseball.
Well, they're first in quality starts are the Braves.
Rockies going to see one of the other top pitching staffs in baseball the next 3 days when they go to Washington.
Well, it's going to be Jordan Zimmerman, Steven Strasburg, and Doug Fister.
Fister's been outstanding.
And then
lately.
if you want to take it to the next day too, Drew, and the Dodgers are in town, you want me to even mention his name?
Well, Kershaw's going today, so it's got to be Greinke. Or no.
It's Kershaw.
On Thursday? Oh, it can't be.
That's what the notes say.
That's not right.
No,
Kershaw's going today.
Yeah, so it'd be
that's
Friday.
not right. He'll
It'd
go
be
Friday.
Yeah. Either way.
He's looming.
Yes.
There's Washington leading the National League in ERA at 3.07. That's out of play. Ramirez leads Major League Baseball just this afternoon in foul balls.
Foul balls?
Yeah. I think he's hit like 37 of them.
I think it's been quite that many, but it seems like it.
That get him on the foot?
Yes, it did.
De La Rosa on a 2-2 pitch. He's come close to hitting Ramirez on the foot 3 times in the game, and he finally ends up getting it.
Yeah, on the left front foot. Well, he's just overthrowing that one and just yanking it to his glove side all game long. Off the toe of that front foot.
Tommy Kahnle throwing.
Tommy pitched on Thursday night.
And strike on Chris Davis. This is another wild pitch. And this is where, you know, Jorge is a savvy guy. He's won a lot of baseball games. He's, to me, trying to be too fine. He's got a 5-run lead.
Yeah, I would agree. But again, you're set up away, and seems like every wild pitch has been in the same spot. Olean's trying to do the best he can and block it. You got to get some help from the pitcher.
Runner takes off for third. Throw there. Safe.
Second stolen base for Ramirez today. He had one the whole time previous to today's ball game.
Yeah, I mean, he's not a guy you think's going to steal, and not only that, it's pretty close play. He's safe. It's not a real wise decision. You're down by 5 runs.
54 or 56 stolen bases is a club for Milwaukee.
When was the last time Ramirez had 2 stolen bases in a game, if ever? 3-1. He's throwing that changeup frequently, and you still have to mix your pitches. I understand that, but at some point, a challenge.
Yeah, and that's other than the 2 changeups that I can remember to Mark Reynolds when he was behind in the count 3-0. That's not been a pitch he's had any feel for.
We'll get the run home. 2 outs. 8-4.
Right, Drew. It's never happened for Ramirez before today where he's had 2 stolen bases in a ball game. First time in his career.
Yeah, he's not a guy that runs. He's a guy that trots around the bases. Mark Reynolds, 2 outs, nobody on. Ground ball double play, hit into a 6-3 double play, and also struck out. On the corner. Jorge, when he struck him out, came back from a 3-0 count to get him. Curveball misses.
What's the fastball you were referencing where you challenge him?
Two runs have scored for the Brewers. Is sitting on 1 hit. 3-2.
The next pitch will be pitch 109, and that would tie a season high for Jorge. Happened back on June 8th against the Dodgers.
And it's too many for 6 innings. At this point, 5 2/3. That's out of play. And he struck him out. In the inning, a double, and then a hit by pitch, and Ramirez ends up coming all the way around and scoring. Rockies, we go to the 7th, leading 8-4. All right, Jenny, thanks very much. He missed close to 60 games, but after the 3-homer performance last night, I'm sure he will be raring to go tomorrow. Braves and Nationals with identical 43 and 38 records atop the NL East.
How about the Phillies at the bottom of that division?
There's all kinds of rumors naturally this time of year about who may or may not get traded. In the case of guys like Jimmy Rollins and Chase Utley, they're 10-5 guys.
Yeah, so they have to agree to a trade, meaning they've been in the league for 10 years and 5 years with the same ball club. So any trade has to be approved by them. If they say, no, I don't want to be traded, there's nothing you can do. You're stuck. You have them.
And Marlon Byrd's name's out there, who just re-signed with Philadelphia, did a 2-year deal. It's the time of year there are more rumors and less substance to those rumors because people, write columns and they just look at teams that aren't doing well and assume that everybody's available, which is often not the case.
Well, the other thing with that is, with the advent of the extra wild card team, more teams feel like they're in it even at the All-Star break. So they're reluctant to make that trade. I mean, you get to that point, there's only, a handful of teams that would say, no, we don't have a chance.
Yeah, Doug Melvin was asked about it. The general manager, longtime general manager of Milwaukee, about adding a guy like David Price, for instance. And, he famously did one a few years back, a rental of CC Sabathia, and it worked out for him. CC went 11-2 down the stretch for Milwaukee. But he also said, I really like this club. He said, from a position player standpoint, who are you going to uproot? Maybe at first base would maybe be the only spot. Ramirez at third's not, going anywhere. Even though Segura hasn't had a big year this year, he was an all-star last year. They like the tandem of Scooter Gennett and Ricky Weeks at second, and your outfield with Braun, Gomez, and Chris Davis is set. And also, Jonathan Lucroy, obviously, is a fine catcher.
You don't want to upset the chemistry either, because if you take one of those guys and he's not playing as much, does that, where's the harmony then?
Dickerson caught looking, second strikeout for Gorzolani, and that'll bring up Willeen Rosario. The day after every Rockies victory, get 40% off your online order at Papa John's. Enter the promo code ROCKSWIN at papajohns.com.
Go back to that 5th inning in the play. At third base, first is the boot by Ramirez. The runs come in, but then Willeen hustling all the way from the batter's box back to the batter's box.
And back live, Willeen takes a mighty hack. It's 1 ball, 1 strike. Willeen 2 for 3. And that circle around the bases, he doesn't get credit for a hit on that. It was an error. E5 and then an E2 allowed him to run the bases.
But he does get credit for hustle.
Absolutely.
It's not going to be in the box score.
It's in the manager's box score, right?
Your teammates' box score.
Yes. Outside, 2-1. Reminded me that last at bat, he was kind of taking it on the run like REO Speedwagon, huh?
We didn't get to see him on the rooftop, but you can if you visit the rooftop at Coors Field. You can arrive early for pregame festivities and beer specials before the first pitch. The rooftop is the place to be during baseball season.
Ryan Wheeler with 2 outs and nobody on in the top of the 7th. Today, the official beginning the second half of the year, game number 82 for the Rockies. And that's pulled sharply, and a good play by Reynolds to flip to Gorzelani. Middle of 7 at Miller Park. The Rockies 8 and the Brewers 4, and we invite you to stick around for a rendition of God Bless America on this beautiful Sunday in Milwaukee.
Our great nation with the singing of God Bless America, led this afternoon by Bob Kozlowski from the Brewers Guest Relations Department.
God bless America, land that I love. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above. From the mountains to the prairies to the oceans white with foam. God bless America, my home, sweet home. God bless America, my home, sweet.
For the Cooney Lexus look back, Rockies got after Giovanni Gallardo in the first inning with 2 outs, a 2-run double off the bat of Corey Dickerson to the opposite field. Willeen Rosario would knock in a run in that first inning also with a sharp base hit. And then this was an odd play, 2 on, nobody out. It went under the glove of Ramirez for an error, and then Milwaukee started throwing the baseball all over the diamond. Lucroy an error, and Willeen just never stopped running. 3 runs scored on that one play. Willeen wasn't out of gas either. That's our Cooney Lexus look back, where luxury has a new address, open in Greenwood Village in Colorado Springs. So it's 8-4 Rockies as we go to the bottom of the 7th inning. A couple of changes to tell you about for Colorado. First at third base, Ryan Wheeler has come out. Charlie Culberson has come in. It's a double switch. And Tommy Kahnle will take over for De La Rosa. Jorge went 6 innings, allowed 4 runs on 4 hits. 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. He had a hit batter, and he had 3 wild pitches. That's why there were 4 runs despite the low hit total of just 4. Here's Bianchi, and he takes ball 1.
Well, against Tommy Kahnle, who's starting to be put into these situations where he's going in with leads now. Used to be he would come in, pitch the inning in 2/3, 2 innings, but it's usually when it was a deficit.
He has earned that right.
Yes, he has.
DJ waving his arms. He's got it. 1 out.
Well, we got a moment, Drew. The NHL draft just ended yesterday. So we talk about the Major League draft. So there's 4 kids from Colorado that were drafted in the NHL draft. I think it's pretty cool. I mean, Dominic Turgeon, Pierre Turgeon. Son. Frederick Olofsson from Broomfield. He was drafted. Yeah, Jared Fiegel from Parker. He was drafted. Hayden Hawkey from Parker as well. Went to Regis, drafted in the 6th round like Max George. So
terrific.
Yeah, it's neat to see the kids from Colorado. We talk about the NHL, the NBA, the NFL draft, but 4 kids from Colorado drafted in the NHL draft. So congratulations to those guys.
Yeah, big congratulations to those guys. And it shows you the growth of hockey in our state. We know how much baseball's grown in the state. 46 kids. Our last count going to play Division I baseball. That's just the D1 kids. There's a ton of kids who are going to play junior college, Division II, Division III baseball. On the ride here this morning, is talking to Jerry Schimmel about the RMAC and how competitive the RMAC is in baseball.
Jerry helps out at Colorado Christian College.
Ball and a strike on Lilian Herrera.
I should just say University, Colorado Christian University.
CCU.
Good pitch. 96.
1-2.
A little extra giddy up on it. And it's a heavy 96. Some guys will throw it 96, 95 miles an hour, and you hit it, and it doesn't feel like anything. But with Tommy's, the ball's so heavy, it feels like you're hitting a bowling ball.
2 outs. If your windshield gets nicked, call Safelight at 303-287-5000 or check them out online at safelight.com. 2 outs. And Gorzolani is going to hit for himself. A little bit of a surprise, but there's 2 outs, nobody on.
I'm just looking at their bench. I mean, Gomez is out, Segura, but you'd still have Overbay or Jeanette. And they do have somebody warming up in the bullpen. Brandon Kinsler.
A little bit odd.
It is.
3 pitches, he's gone, and a 1-2-3 7th inning for Tommy Kahnle. We'll go to the 8th. The Rockies leading 8-4. Sports is brought to you by Xfinity. Ask about the X1 platform to make your future awesome. By Bluebell Ice Cream. Celebrate summer with Bluebell's newest flavor, Magic Cookie Bar. It's a home run. By Wells Fargo. Wells Fargo customers get your 2-for-1 Rockies club level tickets today by going to wellsfargo.com/Rockies. Wells Fargo Bank, member FDIC. And by Dodge. Visit Dodge.com, your local Dodge dealer today. Roof open in Milwaukee at Miller Park, and the Rockies are leading in the 8th inning 8-4. And Tom Gorzelani hit last inning, but he's not going to pitch the next inning. It's going to be Brandon Kinsler, which tells me that Gene Segura's not available and Gomez not available. But still you still had two other guys who were available in Jeanette and Overbay. And it's a little bit odd. I understand there's 2 outs, nobody on, but you never know how a rally begins. Well, and it's not like you're down by 10 runs.
No, but if I'm sitting in the other dugout, I said thank you, because you never know when a rally might start. Think about this. The Rockies scored 5 runs early in this game with 2 outs.
Yep.
And I'm sure Ron Renicky has an explanation of why he didn't do it. I just don't have one for you, because you let your pitcher hit and then you're going to take him out immediately. But you're going to go to Brandon Kinsler, who pitched on Thursday night, the last in the 8th inning. One of those rare guys coming out of the pen now that is not overpowering. He sinks it at 90-92. We'll cut it. A little slider to complement the sinker.
Back up the middle, and another base hit for DJ. DJ keeps throwing out multiple hit games. Got a 5-game hitting streak, and he's 9 for 18 over those 5 ball games. Charlie Culberson will take his first turn. Double switch, came in at third base last half inning.
You got to still attack the Brewers. Don't just sit back. If you want to hit and run, you can do that. There's nothing wrong with it. It's only a 4-run lead. And that's that magical number. Everybody thinks of it 4 runs because of the grand slam. And once it gets up to 6 or 7 runs this late in the game, then you probably say, okay, now they won't steal or they won't hit and run. But to me, it's still in the playbook.
Ball and a strike on Charlie Culberson. De La Rosa threw out a base hit while he was in there. He was 1 for 3. Jorge on the plus side, looking for his 8th victory. Giovanni Gallardo has got the hook. Never beaten the Rockies, and it's not going to happen today.
As a reminder for Gallardo, he'd come into the game 0-4 with the .577 in 8 starts, 9 games against Colorado. And today in the 5 innings, he gave up 8 runs, 5 hits, or excuse me, 8 runs, 5 earned, 10 hits.
Got a hat catch in the Milwaukee dugout. Cap catch.
There it is. Take the cap off. You want it?
Gives a souvenir to his teammate.
To Gomez.
Yeah. Carlos, you ever seen one of these? Marco Estrada, one of the members of the Brewers rotation, the only guy not to throw against the Rockies in this series. He threw against the Rockies at Coors Field last week. You looked a little unhappy. Let me give you a souvenir.
The Brewers will be off tomorrow, then on to Toronto, where Estrada will take on the Blue Jays Tuesday night.
And that's why Renicky wanted to stay away from Gomez today. Gives him an opportunity to have 48 hours down. 2-2. And another great catch. Man, everywhere. People flashing leather. Guy in a green shirt in the first row reached up and made that catch.
Boy,
there's a guy behind him, too. He was going to make it. The guy behind him was going to make the catch, did he not?
Okay, now I can understand letting this other guy have the souvenir. What's with the green KC?
He obviously got bad directions. This ball hammered deep left field by Charlie. Got a chance to fly. It will. Off the facing of the second deck. Home run, Charlie Culberson. And the Rockies have hit double digits. And for Culberson, his second of the year. Boy, he turned on that one.
He kept fouling balls off to the right side. And so they decide to come in to Charlie. And boy, did he make him pay. Gets with a little leg kick, a little load going to the backside. Gets the foot back down into the ground and just hammers that one off the sign.
That was crushed. Blackman's 1 for 4. Charlie takes strike one.
With that home run, some people start to head for the exits.
Well, what else can we do on a beautiful day? Here's our AT&T fan photo of the game. We haven't checked it out yet. Fear the nasty. Big Charlie Blackman fan. See more and more of those T-shirts at the ballpark. Tweet your photo to hashtag #COFanPhoto for an opportunity to be seen just like that young man in an upcoming game broadcast. It's brought to you by AT&T. Chuck Nasty with a 2-strike count. Brandon Barnes on deck. Nobody out in the 8th inning. Rockies on to our nation's capital later today. Open up a 3-game set with the Nats. Ball to left field. Chris Davis makes the catch. 1 out. Let's take a look at our CenturyLink. Link to what's next. So Monday, which would be tomorrow, it'll be Johan Flande taking on Jordan Zimmerman, Christian Friedrich against Steven Strasburg, and then Tyler Matzik against Doug Fister, the former Tiger. Barnes swings at the first pitch, lifts it to shallow center. Weeks going out. Ricky Weeks makes the catch. 2 outs. And that'll bring up Justin Morneau. Looking up and down the lineup, everybody in the Rockies lineup has at least 1 hit today, save Morneau, but Morneau reached on a walk and scored, and he has a sac fly, so he's had a productive day at the plate. 0 for 2.
Well, and you also have with Culberson crossing the plate, 7 out of the 9 positions in the batting order have scored a run today.
Yes. And a base hit for Morneau. He must have heard us talking. So Justin reaches here in the 8th inning with 2 outs, and Tulowitzki will come up. Troy is 2 for 4. Troy had a leg hit in the 5th inning and would come around to score. And a sharp single in the 1st inning also. Look at that bat. See that, Huey? That bat, that looks like one of his BP bats because it's so worn out on the barrel. Right?
This means he's making solid contact. But some guy, when they some players won't change though.
Yeah.
Until you break it. Even if it starts to fray and splinter, it just feels so comfortable in your hand. It's like a worn pair of slippers. You just slide your feet in and you go, ah, that feels good. That's what a bat feels like in your hands.
Shows you how really how precise those guys are. I mean, he's hitting it right on that sweet spot so frequently. He's worn out the
sweet spot. It's only
varnish off of it.
It's only 3 or 4 inches wide in the bat. The sweet spot.
Glance at the in-game box score. Everybody's got a knock. Oh, you know what, Willeen? Wait a second. Willeen's got 2 hits. Willeen's 2 for 4. So don't pay attention to Willeen's line there. He's got hits also. Meeting with his catching instructor right now, Renee Latchman, and the crazy thing is Willeen's actually getting a word in with Latch.
Hard to do.
That is hard to do. I was kidding Latch this morning because I hadn't seen him in the workout room this week.
Right.
And Latch never misses a workout.
He's always on the bike.
He's always on the bike, reading away. He said he's been coming to the ballpark and riding the bike.
Okay.
And that is going to drop. Troy's got his 3rd hit as Morneau stops at 2nd. It's the 14th 3-hit game this year for Troy Tulowitzki. That's how you hit 350.
Yeah, well, you have to have multiple 3-hit games, 2-hit games.
And Rutledge is going to come in and give Troy the rest of the afternoon off. Nice luxury to be able to do that. It's been a while since the Rockies were on the right end of a lopsided score. A great day for Troy Tulowitzki. And now Ron Renicky is going to pull Kinsler out as he's had a rough inning. Corey Dickerson coming up. He's going to go to the bullpen. We'll tell you about the change when we return. 10-4 Colorado.
Pitching change now for the Brewers. Wei-Che Wang is on, and he'll face Corey Dickerson. Coming up right after the post game today is Rockies Weekly. I hope you'll stick around and watch it. On Rockies Weekly, we're going to show you Ryan Spilborghs and his buddy, Matt Holliday, because the Cardinals were in town, and Spilly wanted to show Matt his new job, his new gig with Root Sports. You'll also meet the Rockies bat boy, Rafael Betancourt, the closer, maybe closer to his return than you think. And June is about done. We'll get you the plays of the month for June 2. Rockies Weekly right after the postgame today. We go back to Drew and Jeff, guys.
All right, Mark, we'll look forward to that afterwards. I guess we won't get to see it. We'll have to watch a recorded version, but all of you get to see that. Looks like another outstanding show. Good topics. This will be the 11th appearance for Wei-Chung Wang. Wei-Chung Wang is how you pronounce his name. It's his 11th appearance, as I mentioned, and the league's hitting a robust 408 against him. He'll face Corey Dickerson, who's one of 4 lefties that Ron Renicky has at his disposal in the bullpen. He's not pitched yet against Colorado.
Well, he hasn't pitched for a while. The last time was June 15th against Cincinnati. He was acquired in a Rule 5 deal with Pittsburgh back on the 12th of December.
First fastball missed. Dickerson has 2 hits, a double in the first, driving in 2 runs, and then he singled and scored in the 5th. He's a native of Taiwan.
Just 22 years old. What happened? Is it a knee?
Yeah, so that doesn't look like anything having to do with a raspberry.
No. Well, now it looks like he's trying to stretch it out. Watch the back left leg.
He's cramping.
It's a hamstring. Even if it's a cramp, to me, this game 10-4, he's got to
come out.
He's got to come out.
Once it's grabbing, you're not going to be able to get the cramp out that quickly.
No, and then
you risk a significant strain potentially.
Yeah.
So he's got to come out.
It'll be Drew Stubbs that'll come in for him.
Stubbs will get his gear on, and he'll inherit the 1-1 count. Drew had a real strong day yesterday at the plate. He was 3 for 4. Including a double. One of those deals, Huey, you're in the dugout in the 8th inning, your team's up 6 runs, enjoying the afternoon. Next thing you know, they're tapping you on your shoulder. You got to go in there,
and you're not quite loose. And this is really the last thing you thought was going to happen.
Yeah, I mean, there are times that you can kind of see the writing on the wall, that you expect to get in there, and you start moving around, you're taking swings, you're getting the body limber, and there are times there, you know what, I'm not going to participate in this.
It's not going to happen.
And that's what I'm sure it looked like from Drew's vantage point. But the way he's wired, he's going to be fine. I mean, this is a guy that is in impeccable condition. So he'll step up with a 1-1 count, 2 on, with 2 outs in the 8th. Outside, 2-1. And Drew never got to move the bat. That walk loads the bases. And that'll bring up Willeen Rosario.
Go ahead and finish off a pretty good day for yourself, Willeen. Driving a couple more.
Strike one on Rosario. Single to drive in a run in the first, a double in the third. That ball that scooted under the glove of Ramirez, where he circled the bases in the fifth, and a fly ball to right field. 15 hits for the Rockies to just 4 for Milwaukee.
Needed one of these days.
Absolutely you did. And it's fouled off 0-2. You needed a laugher. I mean, the Rockies have to put together a bunch of wins. It'll be tough going to Washington against that pitching staff, but they definitely needed one of these.
Well, and to throw up as many hits as they have today, as many runs out on the road, that helps your psyche.
He did it against Giovanni Gallardo, who was pitching very, very well coming in. Wei Chung Wong, after Kinsler gave up a couple runs on 4 hits in the inning. Kinsler did get 2 outs. Yeah, I'm a little surprised Ron Renicky hasn't pulled Jonathan Lucroy out. He catches literally every day. He does have a day off tomorrow, but he could put. We got crossed up.
Yeah, he got crossed up. He's saying, "Look at me, watch me, put the signs down." Yeah, this would be a good time to get him off his feet or squatting behind home plate.
This ball pulled to short, and the force out at second ends the inning. Rocky sent 8 to the plate in the 8th. 2 scored on the 2-run home run by Culberson. 10-4. Comcast, advertise your business locally on the networks people watch. Go to ComcastSpotlight.com for more details. The Rockies have pounded out 15 hits. They got a solid performance through 6 innings from Jorge De La Rosa, who's in line for his 8th victory. He added it all up. It's 10 for the Rockies, just 4 for the Brewers in this, the 7th and final matchup between these two clubs this year, and the Brewers had won the first 6. Tommy Kahnle, who threw a perfect 7th inning, is set to go in the 8th inning, and he'll face the top of the Brewers lineup. Ricky Weeks, Ryan Braun, Jonathan Lucroy scheduled.
Well, he had a quick and efficient 7th inning with 10 pitches thrown, 8 strikes.
The Rockies have made a couple of changes as Dickerson and Tulowitzki were pulled from the baseball game, so Rutledge is in at short. Drew Stubbs goes to center field, and Charlie Blackmon, who can play all 3. Actually, all the Rockies outfielders can play all 3. Charlie goes to left. There's Rutt. Barnes remains in right field. Ricky Weeks takes a strike at 95. Kahnle has been such a great acquisition for the Rockies. Broad-shouldered,
hard-throwing guy that was Rule 5. We talk about that. Those are the finds you have to have. You go out there, you're scouting, you spend all this time and energy on the pro side, and these are the guys you get.
Culberson zips it across, 1 out. And that'll bring up Braun. Braun 2 for 3, a home run and a double. He scored 2 of the 4 runs for Milwaukee today. That came against De La Rosa. 10 for 14 lifetime against De La Rosa. The Ford Strike Zone is powered by Ford Cars. Big MPG, smart technology, and unsurpassed quality. See what happens when fun meets the road. Ford, go further. And the fastball swung through by Braun. Here's the home run Braun hit in the 4th.
Well, and it was an opposite field home run up and away from him. And he's done that to a lot of pitchers. One thing I have noticed with Braun in these 4 games and then back at Coors Field, that the fastball in, he just hasn't gotten to that like he used to. I mean, the ones up and away or away from him, he still hits hard with authority to right field, but coming in, if he does hit it, it's usually a soft, broken bat, not a squared up shot.
He's out here on a ground ball to DJ, and that'll bring up Lucroy. See if Renicky gives him his AB and then puts Maldonado in to catch the 9th.
But if you're going to do that, give Maldonado a piece of, a little carrot at the end of the stick. Let him have an at bat.
Yeah. Lucroy doubled in the 4th, 1 for 3. Two-strike count. 1-2. Lucroy this year has caught 631 innings behind the plate. Maldonado 139 and a third.
Reminds me of Pudge when he used to catch all those innings with Texas.
And a strikeout. So Canely, 2 dominant innings. Second punch out for Tommy. 6 up, 6 set down. 10-4 Colorado as we go to the ninth. By Southwest Airlines. Find our fares online only at southwest.com. By StubHub, fans want to be here in person next time your Rockies take the field. Just head to StubHub and choose your seats today. By AT&T, mobilizing your world. By Bluebell Ice Cream. Celebrate summer with Bluebell's newest flavor, Magic Cookie Bar. It's a home run. And by Ram Trucks. The Ram 1500 is Motor Trend's 2014 Truck of the Year and first ever back-to-back champion. It's been a good day for the Rockies in Milwaukee. The Fonz think so. 2 thumbs up. 10-4 Colorado as we go to the top of the ninth inning. Let's go to Denver. Were you a Fonz fan, Jenny? Did you like Happy Days? Spilly looks a little like Fonz. We'll talk to you all in a little bit. Mike McHenry is going to be the pinch hitter for Tommy Canely here in the ninth inning. 7-8-9 for the Rockies after the double switch. This is the pitcher spot. LeMahieu and Culberson to follow. So Mac, the last person on the Rockies bench, and he'll get an opportunity here.
Well, Maldonado went behind the plate for Lucroy.
So they let Jonathan take his swings, the second leading hitter in the National League, and then got the gear on Maldonado.
A couple weird ones today for Ron Renicky and me. I mean, you let the pitcher hit last half, or what was that, back in the 7th inning, and then you replace him with another pitcher to start the lead off the next inning and let Lucroy hit with 2 outs, and you don't give Maldonado an at bat, but then you take him out of the game and put him in behind the plate defensively.
Well, as we often say,
they have their reasons.
They have their reasons. It's not like they're flipping a coin.
No.
When they make decisions. 1-2 on McHenry. Curveball, strike 3. Outside corner. Who wants tacos? Fans, follow @RootSports_RM on Twitter to receive alerts for the Rockies taco special when the Rockies do as they've done today. Score 7 or more. DJ, good day, 2 for 4.
His average back up to 273.
Jonathan Gray throwing today for Tulsa, and Tulsa leading in the bottom of the 7th inning 3-2 over Corpus Christi. Gray went 5 innings, allowed 2 runs on 4 hits, walked 2, struck out 5.
Well, that's his first start since the All-Star break for Double-A, pitched an inning in the Texas League All-Star game.
This is on the ground to third. Ramirez throws out DJ. 2 outs.
Actually, that is Mark Reynolds.
That is Mark Reynolds.
Yeah.
I didn't know
they didn't announce any of those changes.
It's Overbay at first now. So they got Ramirez out of there. .82 pitches for Gray, and they've kind of been holding him in that mid-80s range. Gray will get a no decision today.
Well, he's still learning how to go out and manage his workload every 5 days instead of being just a Friday night pitcher like he was in college.
We got 7 days in between. Charlie Culberson, 1-1 count. Charlie went deep in his first at bat. He came into the ball game in a double switch.
Well, don't blink because you'll miss this because it went out so fast. Allowed to clank off the sign in left field. The '82 AL champion. Was that part of Harvey's Wall Bangers group?
Absolutely, it was. Two and 2 on Charlie. That's a guy you root hard for. Good guy. Charlie Culberson. Last year ran around the outfield a little bit late in the season.
A lot of left field. Let's hope that Corey Dickerson's hamstring is not too bad. It's just a cramp, but sometimes those cramps are just still a minor strain on the hammy. I hate to lose his bat, but then you wonder, well, if he's going to be down for 2 or 3 days, can you go with just 3 extra players?
Walt Weiss must feel like BJ Honeycutt on MASH. Hawkeye Pierce. 1-2-3 inning for Wei Chung Wong. We'll go to the bottom of the 9th inning. Rockies leading by 6. authority of the Colorado Rockies may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. The accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Colorado Rockies. Well, it's been a beautiful weekend in Milwaukee. Not so much from a game standpoint till today, where the Rockies have thrown out 15 hits and crossed the plate 10 times. They take a 10-4 lead to the bottom of the 9th inning. Lyle Overbay will be the first subject for LaTroy Hawkins. Troy getting a little work here. And Michael McHenry is behind the plate. He'll catch the 9th inning. And Wallin is in the game still. He's at first base. So Morneau's come out of there. And the reason that Walt's doing that is just in case there was some sort of injury to a catcher, you have another one.
Yeah, you don't want to take him out of the game, and then who would you put in? Your bench is already emptied. Keep both of those players in play. Well, as you mentioned, for LaTroy Hawkins, just get some work in. The last time he stepped out onto the field was back on the 24th against St. Louis. So in the last 8 days, he's thrown 11 pitches.
First pitch fouled off by Overbay. Shift on for Lyle Overbay. LaTroy has been around for so long and is so well respected and is such an affable guy, approachable guy. You always see him visiting with guys on the other team, and it's not just players, it's equipment guys, it's trainers,
coaches that he
coaches.
played with.
You know, he knows owners of other teams, even if he hadn't played there. I mean, just being in the game for so long with his reputation.
The respect factor,
it's immense.
It's off the charts. As well it should be.
Here's the 1-2. Somebody asked me today said they hadn't seen Hawkins yet, so you know, what's he throwing now at 41? Is he 90, 91? I said no, he's still in the mid-90s.
Hasn't lost anything on the arm speed.
I want the fastball up. Good pitch. We're talking about some of the exploits of prospects in the Rockies organization. Rosel Herrera, really well thought of middle infielder for the Rockies. He's playing in Modesto, was hurt for a while. He threw out a 4-hit game on Friday. Last night took the collar, but he can hit. We watched him take batting practice a few times down in spring training in March. He's going to be a good one.
Well, he gets a little stronger, bigger and stronger. The ball comes off his bat well now.
Yes, it does.
That's always the fun part of spring training, when you see some of the young kids come up and they take batting practice, or you go to the backfields and just watching all the work that's going in, all the coaches putting in their time and effort to develop the kids.
Raimel Tapia with Asheville's having a good year. He's a center fielder. He's hitting .319. Three and 2 on Overbay. David Dahl 2 nights ago. Actually, it was last night. Went 4 for 6 with 3 doubles for Asheville. He's hitting .289. That's a foul ball again. Well, Lyle Overbay didn't get to play earlier. He just got inserted in the game, so he wanted to get as many swings as possible.
Just trying to think, well, this is what I get in batting practice.
No swing, ball 4. To bring up Chris Davis. Grand Junction won yesterday 6-3. Max George knocked in a run for Grand Junction Rockies. They won in Idaho Falls. Ronaldo Jenkins hit a home run for Grand Junction. This is slowly hit to Culberson. He's going to get the out at first.
Idaho Falls, the Dodgers. I think Ogden is the Dodgers. See who Idaho Falls is.
I'm going to hunt that down for you. Reynolds takes ball 1.
Kansas City Royals.
There you go.
Speaking of the Royals, did you see this? One of their farm teams the other day. Or back-to-back no-hit.
Not a good 48 hours. Is that in the Sally League? Is it Lynchburg?
Yes, Lynchburg.
Yeah, and that's why he's green today. Back-to-back games getting no-hit.
Lynchburg no-hit them. They are in Wilmington.
Oh, okay.
In the Carolina League.
But both games, it was Lynchburg throwing the no-no.
Yes. On Thursday
both
night,
the
Friday,
starter went 7, and somebody came in and got the next couple
2
innings.
But back-to-back no-hit nights.
All right, I want the leadoff hitter on Saturday to bunt.
Any way to get on.
The short, Rutledge. 2 outs. And the Brewers down to their final out, Jeff Bianchi. Here's the 1-0. And swung on and missed by Bianchi. 0 for 3. Fly ball to center field, ground ball to third, and a pop out. He's got called back to the big leagues today. He's hitting .276 down in Nashville.
If anybody was watching that last pitch, 95. So to answer that question, does he still have it in his arm? Oh, yeah.
I heard he flashed a couple 94s. We've seen plenty of 95s from him this year. There's another one. And this should get it done. Rutledge to first, and the Rockies have defeated the Milwaukee Brewers 10-4. They pound out 15 hits in